I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, we're now into the dog days of summer. I know I'll get a little bit of pushback on this blog. They'll say, oh, Bigland, it's typical, always a good time to buy, always a good time to sell. But I'm going to tell people, if you're a buyer right now and you're a true buyer, so that's the thing we have got to differentiate here. A lot of the guys you see on these chat boards and on YouTube channels and things like that are saying, the market's going to drop 50% from here and the sky is falling. None of those guys are buyers. They're missing a few key ingredients. They don't have the $150,000 or 20% down in cash sitting in a checking account. They don't have the pre-approval letter. They haven't gone through that gauntlet that you've got to go through now with the Canadian banks to get pre-approved for a mortgage and all the paperwork you got to fill in. They haven't hired a realtor and they're not even looking at products. So, they're out. But if you're one of the buyers that's out there right now, a true buyer, so you've got everything ready to go. You're pre-approved, you got a realtor, or you're in the market to hire a realtor, which I'll talk about in a minute, and you've got your deposit funds and everything else, then, this is a pretty darn good window right now. This is probably one of the best windows I've seen in about 10 years, 9 or 10 years, with the exception of that first couple of months coming out of COVID there. Ooh, that was incredible. I did a couple of blogs on that. There was some incredible buying opportunities there. Panic sellers. It didn't last long, 6-7 weeks tops. But geez, there was some stuff I blogged about. You can go back. Couple of units that were sold in one in Yaletown, another one in Olympic Village area. Geez, I think it was a one bed, panic sold, fire sale. I would say 8 months later, that unit, it was just a one bed, was worth $70K more than what they had sold it for. So there was some good window. But today, right now, overall, the market is balanced. There are some it is favoring buyers in the luxury condo market, and in some circumstances, townhomes and luxury or higher priced detached homes for sure. The one bedroom, good high quality one bedrooms downtown, are probably hovering between high end balanced and low end sellers market. Believe it or not, I just got into a bidding war on one not long ago. So the high quality one bedrooms downtown and the good strata that I like to go through. But overall, it's balanced. Some of these units, even this one I got into the bidding war on, it was just me and one other offer. I can tell you 2 years ago in this strata, if this unit would have been listed, it would have been me and 6 or 7 other offers. So not too bad. So a pretty good window right now to be a buyer. If you're an investor, pretty darn good time to be an investor as well. Cap rates are very near all-time highs. Interest rates are coming down. I think we're probably going to get another 50-point drop here between now and the end of the year, maybe 2 25-point cuts between now and Christmas. So that'll take that variable rate down to probably around 3.3. Geez, that's pretty good. Anything under sub 4, which you're paying right now, I consider to be pretty attractive. Remember, I've been at this a long time. I can remember when I was paying, it didn't seem that long ago, when I was paying 13, 14% on some of my investment mortgages. I remember when it dipped down into the 8 and 9%, I thought I had died and gone to heaven. So interest rates historically, or even right now, are quite favorable. But, I get it on the other hand that people are saying, well, I'm all ready to go. I'm kind of looking, but I'm getting paid to wait. And yeah, perhaps. I think you're getting paid to wait on a situation like the butterfly, which, as I do this blog right now, there has yet to been one registered sale on MLS. Zero sales. I'm seeing some get taken off, some they're trying to rent and to sell, whichever comes first. But inventory is going up, days on market is ratcheting up, prices are starting to get reduced, not enough yet in my opinion. But there's other strata like that right now that you definitely are getting paid to wait, and I would not jump in on those yet. It's like catching a falling knife. It just hasn't started dropping anything precipitously yet, but it's going to. But on, say for instance, a good one bed downtown or a one in Den in a good strata, in the strata that I'm always going after, prices right now are kind of just treading water and have been since the spring. So you're not really getting paid really too much to wait on those. Depends on, again, what you're buying. But I get it. But, I would say if you find the right home, meets your needs, you've got a good realtor, you can negotiate a good price, write a home inspection in there and everything else, probably a pretty good time to buy. Now, if you pull the trigger on it and it's worth $10,000 less this time next year. Okay, but is it really going to make much of a difference if you're buying this as a principal residence and are going to live in it for 10 or 15 years, or if you're an investor and you're going to hang on to it like I do for 15, 20, 25 years or longer, absorb those friction costs, let the tenant do all the heavy lifting and paying down your debt? It's not going to make much of a difference. So the other thing I want you guys should keep in mind here is I'm now starting to see some of the listings I kind of was keeping an eye on, some detached stuff, a couple of townhomes and a couple of condos downtown. Some of them are getting taken off the market now. And this is kind of what you're going to see more of here, I think, over the next 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm in the same boat. I'm getting ready to take off a couple of homes that I haven't been able to sell this summer. Good homes, too, and we've reduced. So just before I left for my East Coast trip, I had a buyer. I've been looking for a while with him. Had my eye on a couple of condos downtown. I said, we'll pick it up when I get back in a few weeks. I come back and 2 of the 3 are gone. They've been terminated. And I think we're going to start to see more of that. Inventory now, I think, is leveling off and actually slowly starting to come down, at least on the high quality stuff. So from my own business, I'm getting ready to pull a pretty decent detached home in the east side off the market here. I've got it listed right now at 1,575. I've reduced it several times. It's tax assessed at over 1.6. It's a nice house. It's had a lot of work done to it. Roof, windows, siding. It's the interior though. The interior of this home needs a full reno. So it's a little bit of a special buyer for that has a spare 100, 150K to do just a basic reno in cash. So I'm getting ready to take that off the market. I've discussed this with my seller a few times. I think we'll give it another try in the spring. She's going to she doesn't live in the home. She had it tenanted. We listed it when the tenant left. But I think she's going to be able to work something out here with a friend, a family friend, that will rent it, and it'll be on a looser tenancy agreement. And we could maybe give it another try in the spring. And I think spring 2026, I thought this spring 2026 would have been much better, and I think it would have been if it wasn't for Trump and the tariff threat. But I'm pretty confident that I can get her our current price or better at this time next year. So let's take it off the market. I've always got to do what I think is best for my clients. As much as I would love to sell that home today and reduce it one more time and keep it on for the rest of the summer, I'm advising take it off. Put your friend in there for a while. Let's revisit it next April and we'll take it from there. I'm doing the same thing with a 1-bedroom condo in a luxury strata. I've reduced this one a couple of times too. Lots of action on it, some lowball offers, but I'm telling him that he might want to put a tenant in this one, or perhaps he's got some friends that could maybe move into it that he's talked about, and we'll revisit again next spring, see where the market's at. I think by next spring, interest rates are down another 50 basis points, maybe a bit more. Tariff threat will kind of have washed its way out. We'll have resolved it by then. It'll be back to business. These things they're transient. They come and go. There'll be another one around the corner, another set of dark clouds, but this one will settle and we'll give it another try. And I'm advising that on a few of my other listings as well. We're going to give it another week or two here. If nothing serious comes up, some of them are owner occupied, just stay put, guys. And I'm pretty confident that at this time next year, market will be better. I'm quite certain of it, and we'll get you that price or maybe even something a little bit better on it. But you're starting to see this now in the States. In today's Wall Street Journal, first-time home buyers are MIA, landlords are the winner. American renter population has hit record highs because fewer people can afford to move into home ownership. Well, that's why I say here, if you've got the right home here that you're renting out, like my portfolio and all my clients, my investor clients I represent, it's still a very good market to be an investor if you've got the right product here. If you have a studio or some dilapidated one bed that's in a poor location, levies coming up, you're catering to that kind of transient tenant base, like a student, for instance, then yeah, those aren't a good position to be in. But all my tenants are rock solid. Nobody's given me any notice. I haven't had a new tenant placement for over a year. I'm on the phone all the time with my investor clients, business as usual, and we're all raising rents. I know that overall rent prices have started to soften a bit, but keep in mind, when I'm ready to look for a new tenant, that tenant of mine has always been in there a couple of years, 3 years, 2.5. I'm always raising the rent. Right now I'm at pretty high rents, record-setting rents right now on a couple of my properties. So I'm happy with the situation I'm in. I would recommend to people, if you're an investor, again, now's a pretty good time. If we can get you the right unit at the right price, place a tenant in there, hang on to it for 15 or 20 years, you're going to do well. Because again, the cavalry is not on the way, guys. They're not building anything in downtown Vancouver. Zero. Nothing is getting built. The only cranes you see right now they were going to be strata, but now they've been shifted to market rental. So a small one bed in a animal house of a rental building, when it's going to be finished, is going to be $3,000 a month and up. The other thing you're seeing, there's a few cranes in the West End, Cole Harbour area, that are luxury, ultra luxury condos starting at $2,500 a square foot and up. Nothing now is moving forward though on the luxury stuff if they haven't already started construction. It's done. In the meantime, I don't know, immigration is slowing a bit, but probably still going to be 15, 20, 25,000 new arrivals coming into the lower mainland here. Most will be in and around the Vancouver area. Guys, you can buy right now good concrete strata for under $1,000 a square foot. I just had one that needed a full reno for $925 a square foot, concrete with parking. Lots of stuff in that $1,000 to $1,100, $1,150 square foot range, price per square foot. I'll bet dollars to donuts that in 10 years from now, when the downtown population is bumped up another 100K, sure, we've got some rental-only buildings that you can rent for $3,300 a month for a small one bed. And anything that's getting built downtown that's new is going to be starting at $2,500 a square foot. So I have a feeling that $1,000, $1,100, $1,150 square foot you can buy today is going to look pretty darn good because they're not building any more of it. It's plain and simple. So that's what you always want to look at with real estate. Read the room. It's not so much what the market is today. It's where you see the market going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years from now. That's what I look at. When I'm buying real estate, I'm looking at those 15, 20-year horizons. That's all I'm interested in. I could care less what the market does a year or two from now. So read the room. Nothing getting built. Anything that is, the little bit that is getting built is going to be rental, market rental, because that's what NDP and David Eby wants, guys. He doesn't want you being a homeowner. Remember that. The dirty little secret of socialism. They want to keep you out of home ownership and keep you into that renter treadmill because then they've got you in their cocoon. You got to keep voting for them to keep pumping out more of that market rental. You want to be an owner and take advantage of the only tax shelter we get, that principal resident exemption, which is still incredible. Even if they do tap into it down the road, which they're going to, 1 or 2%, you're still going to keep the other 98% of that principal resident exemption. So that's why you want to be a homeowner, sooner rather than later. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. See you next week.